This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis. It's the Morning Majlis.
Good morning and welcome on to the Morning Majlis. We are celebrating the weekend vibes here in the studios. It is Thursday, the 10th of September, and we're gearing up for a well-deserved relaxing weekend.
Yes.
And finally, after so much that's been going on across the globe, we will be talking about a couple of big developments, particularly the local developments that we've been seeing over the past few days. Tonight at 5 p.m. we have a very big announcement coming in. It's going to be a briefing from the government about the COVID-19 situation, because yesterday we saw cases are reaching 800 or above 800, which is very alarming. So the government is going to be speaking to us at 5 p.m. later today to talk to us about what we should be doing in terms of being a bit more precautious. But later on in the program, so much to discuss.
Yes, so much from Sharjah to discuss. His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, Supreme Council member and ruler of Sharjah, has issued a Emiri decree approving the general organizational structure of Sharjah Police Academy here in Sharjah. So we will talk about what the Emiri decree stipulates and the new organizational structure of the academy and so much more.
Yes, indeed. And big news for Sharjah after 8 a.m. We're going to talk about the new sustainable ride-hailing service that is set to debut in the Emirates and set to make public transportation a lot easier. So we're going to talk to what the Sharjah Roads and Transport Authority has said. Plus, we'll delve into all the international developments. Pretty big one in the Middle East. The withdrawal of American troops in Iraq has got everybody talking. We'll give you all the details, why this happened, and statements from officials on both sides.
Yeah, so much to discuss as well. And the price of a COVID-19 test in the United Arab Emirates has dropped as well. What's happening there? We shall be giving you a little bit more updates about that as well. So all you have to do is stay tuned to Pulse 95. We'll be right back after some musical entertainment. And we've also got a little traffic update to help you keep moving as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Ahmed, do you like your electric car?
I do.
Yeah?
Electric cars are pretty practical.
Yeah.
Feels good to drive them.
I feel like you're now like the trendsetter for all of us. Because, I mean, now it's obvious that the trend is going towards or driving towards electric cars. Yesterday we talked about how Ubers, like they announced that they're putting in $800 million to kind of transition into electric cars 100%. They want to go 100% electric by the year of 2040. So, you know, we're not that far away here in Sharjah. Exciting partnership emerged in Sharjah between the Sharjah Roads and Transport Authority and the UAE-based sustainable mobility solutions company ION to launch a new on-demand ride-hailing service in Sharjah with a fleet of electric vehicles, including Tesla Model S and Model 3. And it's not going to be in 2040. It's going to be this year, by the end of this year.
Yeah, this is a much anticipated development. And we've had people on the show from the Sharjah Asset Management, the investment arm of the Sharjah government, to talk to us about future plans here as far as implementing ride-hailing services in the Emirate. So this has been a long anticipated development, this on-demand ride-hailing service. The electric cars included within its fleet include a Tesla Model S and a Tesla Model 3 by the end of the year 2020. And it's going to be available here in Sharjah and would expand to the rest of the United Arab Emirates. This announcement also coincides with the World Electric Vehicle Day, a day marked to recognize the importance of e-mobility and its impact on the environment compared to other alternatives. And the reason ION was selected for this partnership was, according to the press release, due to its sustainable electric vehicle fleet, smart operations, and customer-oriented back-end support.
Yeah, and speaking of the Electric Vehicle Day, yesterday, the 9th of September, is when it's marked. And we also heard that Uber has also made plans that 100% of its fleet or the cars that they operate with will be will be electric vehicles. It's going to be a very interesting discussion. And also, this is going to be a massive milestone, and it is all contributing towards the approach in line with the vision of His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, Supreme Council Member and ruler of Sharjah. This development in Sharjah with the new service. It is about the need to adopt the most sustainable methods in the Emirates to further enhance its position as an environmentally friendly city. That's a statement that's come out from engineer Yusuf Saleh Suwaiji, who's the chairman of the Sharjah Roads and Transport Authority. Chairman of ION, who's also the group CEO of BIA, says that ION believes in providing sustainable transportation solutions, from building an accessible EV infrastructure to introduce services that help consumers make choices and lower their personal carbon footprint.
Yes, and ION is a joint venture between BIA and CE Creates, which is a business incubation platform of Crescent Enterprises. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, ION's electric vehicles and drivers were deployed for free for the quick transport of Sharjah Medical District's doctors in order to facilitate home visits and COVID-19 testing around the clock. And ION is also working on developing the United Arab Emirates' infrastructure for mainstream electric vehicle adoption by setting up public charging stations across the Emirate of Sharjah.
Yep, of course, indeed it is. But now, as we are celebrating Thursday vibes, in line with speaking about vehicles,
Yeah.
what vehicle is spelt the same backwards like it is normally?
So it has to have the same letter in the beginning and the end.
Yes. So what vehicle is spelt the same as it is, it's spelt the same backwards as it is normally?
I'm thinking of all the vehicles that...
Yeah, I'm going through the names in my head. It's got to be a very simple name, right?
Let's stick to Adele for now.
You want to stick to Adele?
Let's stick to it. To Adele's last name. Throwing too many questions at us this morning.
Yeah, I mean, the main quiz question that we've got for you is, what is Adele's last name? Let us know on the text lines 425.
Adele Connery.
Adele Connery.
Sean Connery, related.
Adele Hopkins.
Adele Hopkins. Adele Hanif.
No. Adele
What?
Winslet.
Adele Winslet, why not? Text lines remain open, 4215. You can be as imaginative as you are, for sure.
Okay.
But what vehicle is spelt the same backwards and forwards? That is the question for you, 4215. Just because we talked about vehicles and electric vehicles. Text lines remain open. Lots of people have been coming back with that response. Answer is race car.
Race car.
Race car?
Mm-hmm. Answer is race car. It's spelled the same forwards and it's spelled the same backwards as well.
But I thought you were referring to a specific
I thought,
a
me
model.
too,
Yeah,
me too.
I was going through the
thinking
names
of-
like Volvo, Nissan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You got me there.
These quizzes don't be fair at all. They try
You're
to
not
be funny.
fair with us at all.
Text lines remain open, 4215. If you'd like to take part in the Majlis quiz, we'll be right back after a short break and continuing the discussions right here on the Morning Majlis.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis. Pulse 95.
Yes, you can join the conversation by getting in touch with us at 4215. Well, the UAE is regarded among the top 5 countries in the world when it comes to conducting COVID-19 tests. Approved facilities for screening are aplenty across the Emirates, with access to them being really easy and convenient. So far, the UAE conducted over 7.5 million COVID-19 tests since the start of the pandemic. For people who want to get tested, it's so easy. All private and government hospitals in the UAE offer COVID-19 testing. Now, if a patient comes to a hospital which is free from COVID-19 and requires admission, he or she has to undergo, of course, mandatory COVID-19 testing. If found positive, the patient is then transferred to the designated COVID-19 facility in the Emirate. Now, what we know is that most tests, if they're not for free, it comes with a cost of 370 dirhams. But now Sahha, well, they reduced the price of COVID-19 nasal swab tests from 370 to 250 dirhams only.
Yes, and this is a much anticipated development, and one that everyone is pretty happy about overall, because for a lot of people, the price of the COVID-19 test was seen as a hurdle to whether or not they could and should get that test done. And this makes things a lot easier. According to the statement by Sahha, the new price is available for all wishing to, quote, conduct the test to assure their health, while it remains free to all citizens and to their domestic workers, people of determination, the pregnant, people over 50, people with chronic conditions, and those suffering from suspicious symptoms or contacted positive cases. It is noteworthy that there are 23 testing centers affiliated with Sahha across the UAE, working 6 days a week from Saturday to Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They also provide pre-booking appointments for COVID testing through the selection of the nearest center for applicants, and payment can be done online via the application.
Yeah, and a lot of people do have this question, doesn't it? They don't really know too much about or tend to be not too bothered about where they can get themselves tested until it comes and hits home and they think, oh no, I've come close to a positive case. Where do I go? Look, in Sharjah, you can go to major government hospitals such as Al Qasimi Hospital. What we do know so far is that they do the tests there. And you have to go to the emergency ward and you can conduct a test there. You can walk in and get the test done. A lot of people out there think, oh, I do not want to go into a facility where I have to walk and which might have been frequented or visited by a potential positive case. So it is a bit of a risk for me. So that's why they prefer going to the drive-through COVID-19 testing centers. United Arab Emirates was one of the first few countries that had established the drive-through testing, and it started off with the price of 370 dirhams, $100. And South Korea was the first country to do that, to introduce the COVID-19 testing centers. But yes, 370 dirhams was a little bit of a deterrent. People thought, oof, too steep and too expensive to pay. Insurance, whether my insurance is going to cover that or not, you never know. And then you sort of rely on the hospital and your appointments and getting your insurance approvals to go forward and do your test at an ordinary clinic. But the drive-through testing centers have been so popular. I've been down to the Sharjah drive-through centers conducted by Sahha, and that's been very, very good because it's an ideal location. It is in the Sharjah Paintball Park, the shooting club. You can go over there and book an appointment through the app and get the test done. Now it's down to 250. It is going to be slightly more affordable. But what we did have yesterday was the highest number of cases registered in the country since May. 883 new cases.
It is an alarming number, and we certainly look forward to the statement from the UAE health authorities on how to interpret this number and also what it means for precautionary measures taken across the country and how we could keep this number down. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are worried. We've been getting a lot of texts about this. And also the possibility of another lockdown is something a lot of people fear.
Yeah, of course they do. And a big situation is that usually the government was doing press conferences and briefing once a week. This time round, they will be doing it twice this week, and it's going to be tonight at 5 p.m. There is a little bit of an announcement that they'll be doing. Yes, it is to interpret those numbers in terms of alleviating the concerns that the public might be having. Well, stay with us on the Morning Majlis. Up next is the sports news, and we shall continue the discussions right after that. So stay tuned to Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Developments here in Sharjah. Sharjah government has been discussing the impact of the stimulus package that the local government had for businesses affected by the coronavirus pandemic. Sharjah FDI office organized a webinar earlier this week, and it was titled Understanding the Government's Stimulus Plan and Incentives for Businesses. This was in collaboration with the Chinese Business Council in the United Arab Emirates in a bid to educate Chinese businesses based in Sharjah, as well as a large number of potential investors who had attended the discussion on ways that they can best leverage these incentives, coupled with the full range of services offered by the Emirates government departments to continue being successful in the UAE's post-COVID-19 economy. And we had a pretty big attendance as well.
Absolutely, very big attendance. But one in particular, from one statement came out from UAE Ambassador to China, Dr. Ali Al-Zahari. And he commented on recounting the strong bilateral relations between the two nations of China and the UAE. And he said that last year, UAE and China celebrated their 35th anniversary of successful relations. And in these years, trade between us has increased 800-fold, with non-oil trade surpassing $50 billion in 2019 alone. China considers the UAE an ideal base for their businesses due to the sound infrastructure, logistics, and connectivity that we offer. And every day, new opportunities are added to the horizon of bilateral trade between the UAE and China. And we are confident that our comprehensive and strategic partnership will result in trade in excess of $200 billion by the year of 2030. And this relationship, he said, I am confident will play a key role in helping both nations rise above the economic challenges that the COVID-19 has thrown at us all.
Yeah, and this webinar was attended by a number of key figures. UAE Ambassador to China, Dr. Ali Ubaid Al-Zahri, Marwan bin Jassim Al-Sarkal, Executive Chairman of Shuruq, Mohammed Jumal Musharraf, CEO of Invest in Sharjah, and the Commercial Counselor at the Chinese Consulate in the neighboring Emirate, Yiwu. And a number of other business leaders from China as well attended this webinar and discussed Sharjah's infrastructure and how that is ideal for foreign direct investment in a number of sectors. One of those sectors that was touched on is manufacturing, the future of manufacturing industry in the Emirate of Sharjah as well, and the high demand for masks and protective equipment amid the pandemic, one that's been met by Sharjah's government. And Sharjah's Chinese businesses also lauded the Emirates' stimulus package support. One spokesperson for a major company said that we've been in Sharjah for more than 20 years. We manufacture construction machinery, and we are grateful to the Sharjah government for taking the lead in formulating a stimulus plan that is working for us. We have been given full support by all government authorities in these difficult times to reduce costs and safeguard our business. The UAE is China's most important trading partner in the region. As of September 2020, Sharjah is home to 594 Chinese businesses, of which 371 are onshore and 223 are offshore.
Yeah, and it's been great in terms of Sharjah's efforts, and we've seen that they've been involved and conducting these efforts and discussions to collaborate with a number of countries. Sharjah and Seoul just had a recent meeting the other day, and it was all about making sure and exploring the collaboration with South Korea and the country. So His Excellency Sheikh Fahim Al-Qasimi, who's the chairman of the Department of Government Relations in Sharjah, had hosted Chung Yong-wook, the Consul General of the Republic of South Korea, to discuss ways of strengthening the bilateral relations and explore collaboration in a number of projects in the future. Proposal for a Sharjah delegation to visit South Korea in the first quarter of 2021 has been put forward to explore partnerships in fields of mutual interest. And it is incredible to see how important these discussions and development of these relations are for the world to move on together and deal with the challenges posed by the COVID-19. Well, time now for us to prepare for the world of news headlines. But before that, because it is Thursday vibes in the studio.
Matchless quiz.
This is the Matchless quiz.
Pulse 95.
Text lines remain open, 4215. The question that I asked today was, what is Adele's last name?
Adele Bean,
Adele Bean.
Adele Bean.
like Mr. Bean.
Oh.
Adele Lewis.
Adele Lewis. Text lines remain open, 4215.
Adele Grant.
Adele Grant.
No, none of them.
No.
Freeman. No,
Adele Khan.
Adele Khan. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know. Nolan.
Nolan? No.
She's just Adele.
She's just
That's
Adele.
it. There's no last name.
She just might be the only person on earth that doesn't have a last
Yes. In the history of all
name. Yeah,
humanity.
we'll accept that.
Yes.
Adele. Well, Adele's last name, text lines remain open, 4215. Lots of people have been texting their responses. But before we delve into that, I've got another little bit of a question for all of you. I would like to ask, I'm going to go a bit scientific now.
Okay.
What is the third most common gas in the Earth's atmosphere after nitrogen and oxygen? This
Helium?
is hard.
No.
Helium? No,
I don't know.
This is hard.
No, wait.
What is it? What does it? Say it again.
Question. What is the third most common gas in the Earth's atmosphere after nitrogen and oxygen? This is for all those scientists and, let's say, people.
I know the answer.
You know the answer. Well, Rania
knows the
is
answer.
from pharmaceutical background. Text lines remain open, 4215. Let us know, and we shall return right after the news headlines. We shall be we shall be revealing the answer very shortly. But if you are out there listening and tuning in, text lines remain open. Even if you're tuning in on our YouTube, you can DM us on Pulse 95 Radio. What is the third most common gas in the Earth's atmosphere after nitrogen and oxygen? Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis.
This is the Matchless quiz.
This is the Matchless quiz.
Pulse 95.
We're back again, and we've got a time to reveal all the answers. Text lines remain open, 4215. I had loads of questions to ask this time round.
Adele. Let's start with Adele.
Okay, last name of Adele. Text lines are open. Lots of people have come back and they actually got their answers correct, which is good news.
You did?
Yeah.
What is it? Atkinson?
Adele Adkins.
Oh,
Close.
very close. How did you
Adele
do that?
Adkins is the correct answer. And that is one thing that
Are you familiar with that family?
Yeah, I just know them.
Go way back.
We go way back.
Since you lived in the UK.
We're the same tribe. You know, we come from the same.
Yes. Tribes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking about Adele Adkins. That's her last name, and born in Tottenham. That's and then she's just picked up this stage name, and that's it. Ever since she's just known as Adele.
It's funny how that works because you have singers who are known by a singular name,
Exactly.
like Rihanna, Madonna,
Yeah.
Cher, Adele. So I thought this was the toughest quiz question we've ever had because nobody
Yeah.
knows Adele's last name.
Exactly. Maradona, what was his last name? I have no clue.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next question that we asked you this morning was, what is the third most common gas in the Earth's atmosphere after nitrogen and oxygen? Rania knows this. This is from her
Shower curtain.
Periodic table.
nobility, you know. It's all about the noble gases. She's got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the noble gases.
Nicely done.
They're very noble. Answer. Lots of people came back saying helium, in fact.
Oh.
Yeah, helium. Some people said hydrogen. And the correct answer, Rania, is
Argon.
argon. Argon, yes.
Argon.
Yes. Why?
AR.
Where is argon found?
What do you mean, where is?
Like, is it
On the
like,
periodic table, it's on the right.
There you go.
But in terms of what's its characteristics? Do we know?
It's colorless. It's odorless. It's an inert gas. It's part of the noble gases as well.
Is it used for anything?
It's actually called the lazy gas.
Oh.
Because it's non-reactive.
Right.
Yeah. They use it in titanium, I think.
Okay.
And I think it's the same gas that you find in some car tires as well.
Oh.
Yeah. And also, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's in light bulbs.
Light bulbs, welding as well. I found that out just now.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. So that is the third most common gas, just in case you needed to know that, if you were to come across any quizzes. And this is something that we always discuss about, just to charge your brains and also celebrate the weekend vibes here in the studios. Another big question that I've got for you.
All right.
It's a riddle.
There we go.
It might appear to be slightly dark, but it is a good riddle. I was very confused when I was looking through it. So the question is, I am the reason you run. I am the reason you laugh. But I'm also the cause of your pain. But I'm a cage from which you will never be free. Oof.
Your lungs?
Interesting.
Can you say that again?
I am the reason you run. I am the reason you laugh or scream. I am the cause of your pain. I am a cage from which you will never be free. Nicely
answer,
done, huh?
Ahmed. Yeah. Yeah. I like his answer.
Ahmed's answer is good.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that. Text lines are open 4215. But why lungs?
Is it's
The rib cage and everything.
yeah, the breathing systems. You laugh, you feel pain. I don't know. You run, you breathe. I don't know. It just came out. Didn't think too much.
But the lungs don't make it run, do they?
No, it's not that. It's because of the breathing thing. I think the breathing aspect.
Because you have to breathe quite heavily.
I'll have to pass this quiz question.
It's a good one, actually.
On to Mr. Our Captain Vikas. He needs to know this riddle that we're discussing at the moment.
Yeah.
I am the reason you run. I am the reason you laugh or scream. I am the cause of your pain. I am a cage from which you will never be free.
When he says cage, I think of rib cage.
See?
That's what I think of.
Our team in Pulse 95, we always throw riddles around all the time. And in the studios, manning the behind the scenes is our Captain Vikas that we call, and he's baffled as well. So I'm guessing this is a very good riddle then.
Yeah.
Text lines are open 4215 for all of you to join this. The riddle is, I am the reason you run. I am the reason you laugh or scream. I am the cause of your pain. I am a cage from which you will never
Your heart?
be free. Ooh.
Is it a
Intense.
part of your body?
Well,
How about existence?
existence. Oh
In and of
my
itself,
God.
the reason
Your
you feel
soul.
pain,
Yeah,
you're caged
so-
up because you can't
Your
get
mood.
away from.
Well, I have to give
My
you
mood is
both.
my driver for me.
Yeah, I have to give you both the kudos because the correct answer, as per this quiz master, is your body.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
All right, so we're close.
You named all the
existence.
parts.
So we're just talking about organs of the body.
Yeah, you're talking about the specific
Yeah.
organs, but this is the macro level over there, the
All
body
right.
itself. Yeah, the body is the reason you run, the body is the reason you laugh or scream, and it can be very painful if you've hurt any of your joints or bones or a muscle.
I disagree. It's
Oh.
my mood.
Oh,
It's the driver for me. My mood makes me want to cry. My mood makes me want to run. It's my mood.
If you know Rania, you know that's the correct answer. There we go.
Have
Mood
you
swings here.
Have you seen the meme that even the Xbox had revealed yesterday? It was the monkey with his big eyes and looks left, right, center, and awkward gaze.
Oh, is that what you're going
That's
through
my
right
reaction right now.
now? Okay. I see what you're doing there.
Well, stay with us to keep you all entertained. It is a little bit of Rihanna to treat you this morning. Stay tuned to
What's
Pulse
her last
95.
Pulse 95. You're listening to Pulse 95. Pulse 95.
It's Pulse 95.